I felt like taking everyone on a full tour of what I've gotten done here. I'm starting in my storage room. It's extremely compact um, because, well, I built it inside the walls, more or less. This was just some spare space I had, and I didn't have much of it, so I packed everything that I could. Later on, I dug this massive area out, but um, this build is, oh, man, this build is Resident Evil 1. It's primarily, um, what is it? It's primarily the remake. Although there is one room, I believe, that I used for the original because the remake didn't exist in the remake. It had extra space. And yes, I am eating potatoes. I built a fence around the perimeter, and the entire forest around this area is 100% planted. If there were trees naturally growing here, I chopped them all down. But this is the exterior, and there are also a few things that I probably got wrong. If you look at the shots from outside the mansion, this is more or less what it looks like. The windows up here go absolutely nowhere. But they do exist if you look at um, the exterior of the mansion in any picture. Apparently, there's a third floor that we never see, or perhaps attic space. You know, patio here and over here. I added really minimal detailing to the walls. The portal is just something I decided to add. I know that in the actual game, this is a very secluded mansion, and this would be just solid forest. But I'm trying to create something where it's like what it looked like perhaps for the outbreak, for the most part. Uh, the grand entry hall, or main entrance, whatever you want to call it. I used terracotta here instead of, because I know there's carpet, but if you look at all the carpet in Resident Evil, it's all extremely faded to where the red carpet's not really red anymore. Um, it's like a very pale red, a lot of white mixed in, and this is the closest I felt like I could come to it. I tried some other options, and none of them looked quite right. The dining room. You only get a glimpse of the ceiling here, but I think it turned out great. It's one of my favorite ceilings that I did. Uh, oh, and the pillars outside as well as the pillars in here are all bone block. The reason I used bone block instead of like quartz pillars is once again they give that dirty kind of used feeling. The same thing with the terracotta there. It's like the quartz is a very white white. almost garishly white. Grandfather clock fireplace. My initial attempt was to use netherrack with fire. Um, Fire tick doesn't have to have the wood touching in order to spread, so campfires it is. I don't want to burn this entire place down. Spent too long on it for that. Uh, yeah, I made the walls look very rough in this room. This is the tea area where you see your first zombie. And yeah, I used a lot of lighting effects. Well, not lighting effects as graphically, but like very deliberately created dark areas to create effects. And if you look at the game, a lot of the lighting placement is exactly, see, like right here, it's only two. But I also made sure there's nothing that hits zero. I don't want a creeper spawning in here. Wait, the basement. All the elevators, I initially had scaffolding, but I switched it over to bubble elevators. Obviously doesn't look like an actual elevator, but it's the closest equivalent that Minecraft can come to. The bar where you play Moonlight Sonata. This bar stools always feel just a little bit too tall. And when you play Moonlight Sonata, the secret door opens up. This is where you'd get the gold emblem to put on the fireplace. These keys here are actually dragon heads. So the nose sticks out. You can see up here, there's the ears. Um, they're one of the few items that I had to get from someone else on the server. Most every single item thing in this mansion I was able to gather myself, but dragon heads were not one of them. I don't like going in the end, and every time I do, I seem to fall into the void. Well, it's about like dying in the nether to lava. Yeah, like these, just closets. They go nowhere. If you recall in the initial game, or in Resident Evil, there were closets in these rooms. I am imitating it best as I can. This is the tiger head room. Obviously, there's no tiger head block. I considered blocking off all but the face, but yeah, we'll go with this. Especially since I built that room, they added a mod that permits mob heads, at least. So you'll see a couple of them around. You can see something we'll be looking at in the future out there. This is the greenhouse area. And we get the fountain that, what is it? When you come in, it has tentacles and stuff coming out of it. And then these are the herbs. Utility area and all that. You gotta turn that off so the tentacles die. Oop. Yeah. Candles are very nice because depending on how many you put, you can make it brighter or dimmer. I also like the new copper bulbs. There are a few things around. There's a ceiling I really liked. There are a few things around. Is the storage room. But there are a few things around this mansion that I'm not sure that I like. Some of which I probably will change or fix eventually. There's also, eventually we're going to get to unfinished areas. This is It's the first time I've decided to make a video. This is one of the save areas right here. This is the medical storage room. There is no way to put down a typewriter in Minecraft. This goes up to the second floor. This is I believe it's called the trophy room, where the center head watches you and you have to take gems from the other two. And yeah, like even all the little torch placement, it's all based on where it is in the game. Second floor of the dining area with the stained glass window. Which leads over to the second floor of the Great Hall. I made the ceiling perched or domed, I guess. I don't know. I believe that in the game, only the center window here is real. The other two windows are almost like a false window. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't. I prefer to look at this stuff at night because it fits everything better. But at the same time, it's been a while since I slept, and phantoms definitely would be popping out going outside. This is the patio area where if you use the right item, I can't recall. I think if you use the dog whistle, this is where you get the dog with the E on its collar. This is the spear hallway, or the mirror hallway, I guess. There's a bunch of spears right through here. This is the closest you can get to spears I know. Um, the mirrors, I used banner patterns for mirrors. That goes back into that other hall. Interesting how much, when you think about it, just how much space in the Spencer Mansion is just absolutely wasted. This, I like how this hall turned out. These are brown mushroom blocks and tough. One of the new tough blocks. Newish. This is just a general storage closet. I believe this is where you get the battery, maybe. This elevator, it goes to the basement, to the kitchen. It's the one where you come up this way after repairing it. This door normally is sealed and inaccessible. Right here, out the windows, you can see future areas. But because it's a free outbreak, the door still works fine. This is the library where you would fight Yawn. I can't recall what item you get after defeating him. Probably a key. This is the room that does not exist in the remake. It's was it the helipad observation or courtyard observation room? Uh, I wanted to add space to spare, and I wanted to add it back in because I believe, like I said, it's the only room in in the mansion that is entirely erased in the remake. And a lot of chandeliers in the mansion. Very popular. This third floor, the window placement in these halls is interesting because if the roof was just to connect to the roof above here, these windows wouldn't exist. But they exist in the game, so this has to be the way it is, where you look outside and you see roof. Yeah, video game logic, I guess. This is the trap hallway where you pick up the item and these walls close in and these statues move in with blades. I'm playing on Java, so the statues don't have arms, so they don't hold things. Otherwise, I would definitely have them holding, you know, I don't know, uh, swords and shields and shit. Now we're back in the mirror hallway that we went through earlier. Go out this way. This is the birdcage hall, or the outer stairway. Yeah, this is a rather large room if you think about it, but there's so much stuff in here that there's only a single narrow corridor to get around in. And, now we're gonna go down through this. This is a dead end. Um, I believe this is called the large gallery. So yeah, it has large paintings. There was a globe, which I included, my local area here. There was a telescope. Um, there's some shit over here. I don't recall what. But you head down a long, darker hallway. You end up in the room here where there wasn't much point to this room. Um, there was a big mirror, so you came in and the camera angle threw you off because the zombie you'd see it in the mirror and move the wrong direction. A big red carpeted room and a closet. It was an item, but nothing of significance, I don't think. It was towards the end of the game. There were several rooms you unlocked at the same time with that key. This is the gallery. It's one of the first rooms you would get into after seeing your first zombie. You'd come over this way. Up here. And this is where you'd go in here and you'd end up getting trapped by a zombie back in here. Um, through here, this little guy is the secret wardrobe. This is the room that was only unlocked by, oh, what is it? Beating the game, I believe. Is the L hallway? Is the hallway where you'd be walking along and you'd get jump scared by the window dogs jumping into the windows but not breaking through. They just crack the shit out of the glass and scare you. But then if you came back through, I can't recall if it was the amount of time played in game or if it was the what is it, amount of times you came through this hall, they would actually break the glass because you'd feel like you were safe and then be like, oh, no, you're not. This is the outside boiler. Stuff like this is a recent addition. They just came out with that, but I like what it does with the walls. The boiler, this is where but the boiler is neat, but that's not what you would do in the game. Out here's also where you would get oh, what is it, the poison to kill the plant in the greenhouse. This is the bathroom. I've seen people that did armor stands. I might try to add, what is it? I think they used an armor stand with a diamond helmet for the toilet. And you got the bathtub with the faucets, ceiling fan, nice mirror with the sink, winding hallway with some nice curtains, another faded carpet, and you'll see a pattern here where I don't use any actual carpet. I also use very little concrete and I use a lot of terracotta, well, all for the same reason. These colors are more muted. They're more realistic, I find, and especially given the age of this place where everything's faded. This is the room where well, in the game, these are all kind of carved frescoes, I guess. But obviously that doesn't exist in Minecraft. So giant paintings it is. But this is the one where in this next room, this is the living room, and you would get the broken shotgun. Or no, you'd get the real shotgun. And if you did, and you didn't put the broken shotgun, the ceiling would start coming down in this room. And you would either get squished or you would get the cutscene where you know, the classic Jill sandwich cutscene. This is the back office. Um, this is one of the last areas in the mansion. I believe it's where you get an item that allows you to go into the courtyards. No, I can't recall. It's either into the court, it lets you go into the courtyards or it lets you go into the labs. Nice. Oh yeah, I went crazy with the ceiling in here. Another save area. I like what oop, fell off. I like what I did with the green here. The collage of small paintings. Paintings are an integral part of Resident Evil decorating. You'll notice they are everywhere. And they do really bring the rooms alive. Yeah, like this here. Look at the lighting. Especially at night, it really comes out. See, it comes down to 1, never 0. And that's intentional because there's areas that I hid light sources that normally would have got down to 0. I will save that for later, for obvious reasons. This room had a big deer head right there. I think this is one of the few rooms I used glow lichen. Bedroom? Because yeah, most of the time glow lichen doesn't look that great with decorating. This is the room where yeah, there's a fish tank there. But there was it bees? And then there was also fishing baits that looked like bees. You had to solve the puzzle and all that. That's what these are supposed to be, as bugs, but unfortunately, once again, with stuff on that scale, it's difficult to get anything right. I mean, I could to bring an actual bee in here, it would have just looked terrible. In fact, I'm not certain that this room looks great to begin with. I don't know if I like the powdered concrete, the concrete powder. This is the small library. Which leads into the C hallway. This is back into that other hall. C hallway with the banners. This is the armor room. It's the puzzle where you have to move these things around in order to unlock this, and if you do it wrong, sprays poison out. I particularly like what I did with the floor here. Yeah, you wouldn't think it looking, well, this hallway always had kind of a reddish hint to it, and you wouldn't think that the pink would work, but it does, I guess. It doesn't look bad. This goes back into this main upstairs of the main hall. Get a little good look at the chandelier and what goes out here into this outdoor patio. That is not in the game. I'll get to that in a moment. This area here, I believe, is one of the few areas I allowed to be dark. So something technically could spawn there. Let's see. I should hide light sources out here because I don't like that things can spawn on my build. If that had been a creeper, yeah. And this is where you go around the corner. And the zombie here gets up. He has the oh, what weapon does he have? I don't remember. Yeah, I should hide some light sources out here. So doesn't have to be much. Maybe some glow light and just light this up enough to prevent spawns. Because yeah, with the changes, yeah, I'll show you this. Oop, did I wall that off? Okay, so I gotta do that. This is the area um, above. This is basically the attic space. Is the roof line of the house is way bigger than the actual house. Yeah, I left a little opening here that I could get up in here if need be. The roof line, I used a ton of blackstone, and just crazy amounts of it. Go this way is the attic access. It, I think this hallway is ugly, but it's also kind of ugly in the game. I mean, this wall, this look here, it's not stone in the game. It's a wallpaper, and the wallpaper's ugly as sin. This little cubby here, like right around here maybe, is where you'd see your squad mate or whatever leaning against the wall, bitten by the snake and all that. This next area got some cobwebs. The attic door is all cobwebbed up. This is the small dining room. These here make excellent shelves at times. This is the attic. Nice high ceiling. This is where you fight Yawn the first time. And other than that, I mean, all this decor and spider webs and stuff, I mean, none of it really matters in the game. The whole thing about that room is the boss fight. There's now we are going to go all the way around to this room I skipped earlier, and for good reason. This room here, yeah, you get, I believe, map of the second floor of the mansion there. This fireplace is the one that you have to light in order to be able to see anything so you can get the map, because it's originally dark in here. Go in through this door. This is the statue you have to move over there in order to progress, because otherwise you come in here and these walls close in and squish you. You got to push this button here because this wall will move past it, and it's a whole neat puzzle and all that. But this right here will open up, allowing you access to this. And this is the secret passage. And yes, it 100% goes behind the walls in the what is it, the first floor of the mansion. Because this, I believe, squeezes between the um oh, I think it's between the art gallery and the was it the large art gallery? There's like a section between those two walls. Oh, yeah, we'll just leave that open. And this is the secret passages in the basement. It's steam vents and random electronics. Lots of wires on the ceiling. I believe that is the basement map that you can collect. Obviously, this is all purely aesthetic. There's nothing practical in here. The barrels, the chests, all empty. None of the items are really collectible. But same thing that I use metal doors where I can, where or where it's practical. I mean, well, more like where it's in the game. A random electronic thing back there. Takes you out into the kitchen. Back here, like I said, we have the elevator that you have to activate, and it goes up to that hallway we saw earlier. Well, I'll show you, because it literally does go up there. It's all connected, built exactly to scale, or as close to scale as I can get it. Fridge, stove, cutting board, sink, island table, nice freezer, washing machine, nice overhead lights and cabinets. These right here, the crafters, they make the best looking cabinets. I mean, so much better than, old barrels. They aesthetically look 100 times better. Takes you back into the first hallway we explored. Yeah, everything, even like the painting placement and all that, is where it is in the Resident Evil game. 100%. Yeah, okay, now we will go this way into the graveyard. This is one of the earliest areas of the game you explore. Well, that shouldn't be there. I'm gonna have to fix that. There's a hole. This is probably because I dug my storage area, or I dug out underneath all of this at one point after I built it, and that probably was gravel, and I just never put it back in. Mistakes, little mistakes like that, bother me. This is where you have to put in 4 heads. For some reason, I only put in 3, and the gears will turn. Undo the chains for this. Nope, one moment. Okay, I'm back. But this is where I think this is considered a boss, but I don't know. I'd consider it a mini boss in the remake because Crimson Heads are a common enemy. But yeah, the gears were neat and the fires and stuff. Nice broody area. But yeah, if you were to come in here and oh, what is it? In spectator mode, be able to pass through the walls, you'd see just how close all these basement areas cross over each other between this crypt and the labs, Aqua Ring and the courtyard underground and all that. That I mean, I did this all by hand. This isn't done in creative at all. This is all done in survival, and was also more or less running blind. This is the wall that opens up when you solve this puzzle with the stained glass windows. Yeah. Another block you wouldn't think would work, but it kind of does. 'Cause I needed a block that was brownish, but like brown concrete, brown terracotta, none of that looked right. But this with its texture kind of does. But yeah, the different colored stained glass windows. Well, that brings you back out into this hall with the office and stuff. And we'll come around the corner into the outdoor area here. This is where you access the courtyards, and on your way back in, you get jumped by the your first, oh, what's it called? Hunter. And this button does nothing. But in the game, it's the access to this room. This is the garden shed here. Nice random assortment of whatevers. This is the first courtyard. I never thought this was a fountain, but apparently I replayed the game in order to see all this, and it definitely is. Nice little overhang. And there's just there's random clutter everywhere in this place. I mean, it's wouldn't be a video game without it. Yeah. The was it glow lichen on brick? I think looks great. It fits perfectly. It's the swimming pool. In the game, this whole area over here to where you actually could just kind of walk around like that. Completely inaccessible. Their whole thing is they want you to come over here, drain the pool, go down here, walk across, and by doing so, you open up this waterway that blocks off that area down there. It's puzzle and all that, but this is meant to be kind of functional and you can get it. Yeah, everything's textured. This whole area down here, done just like it was in the game. But if you look at the map of the game, the pool does go over here. You just can't walk over there. Doesn't make sense. It's whatever. This leads you down to this other courtyard. Nice fountain. This is the way up that you saw earlier. This whole area is lined with shrubs and whatnot. This is where you would go down into the courtyard underground after, was it? Yeah, I believe you have to get the battery, and then you have to put it in over there so you can come around from the other direction with the waterfall open, and it's a whole thing. We'll go through that later. This is the access to the, well, I've heard it called the residence. I've also heard it called the guardhouse. All detailed. Even got little water passages just like they did in the game. Just took hours of simply watching the like watching a live stream or well YouTube video of someone playing the game. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that later too. This is the save area for the residence, which yeah, I'll just call it the residence. Room 001, bathroom. Nice tank up there. This is the rec room, bar, whatever you want to call it, with the giant spiders. They're oh, fucking Enderman. I swear Endermen are the bane of my existence. I mean, I hate having them around, but they can't keep them out because they teleport and they leave litter everywhere. I mean, I just cleaned up, and I'm sure I'm gonna find some blocks out, like a dirt block or a gravel block placed somewhere. We got tool, tool table. I like how the pool sticks are done. The pool balls. They added with the heads mod. It also included mini blocks, but the mini blocks are still too big. I'd like for them to be smaller for that. About 50% of their current size. Come down here. This was the bar restaurant, I guess you could call it. This was the hole in the floor that had pentacles coming out of it. You had to move the furniture, like this box here, I believe, to get across. You'll see like a lot of hill out there because I had to if you play the game, the residence is actually lower down than the mansion, and there's not a lot of space in between. I mean, it's the winding paths and everything make it seem like they're really far apart, but they're not really. And the courtyards in between are fairly straightforward in their verticality. Like there's that one elevator to get to the courtyard and all that. But if you look, the pool is actually raised up. Like when you go from the first courtyard to the swimming pool, there is an elevation increase. Playing with that kind of stuff is interesting. This is I believe it was called the gallery. I just used random things to decorate. This is the lab where you would come up with V-Jolt to kill Plant 42. Let's see here. This door does not exist in the game. It would make sense if it did. I mean, you go through this whole random complex. It would make sense for there to be a back door, especially knowing what we do about Resident Evil Zero, where there was a rail line that goes to the other compound, most likely like behind this residence here. There would be like the rail line would come through and have a stop somewhere out here. We'll get to that later. This is the big beehive. Beep, beep, beep. And that is my one of my alarms letting me know what time it is. Get back to that. This is bedroom, I believe, 3. And this one has shit growing in it. Bathroom, bedroom. And this is one of the few windows. If you look around the residence when you're playing it, look at how few rooms have windows. This bedroom here, I believe a hallway. Most of the rooms, even if they're exterior, don't have windows. Like this entire room is exterior. It doesn't have any in the game. So we went with it. This fireplace in the game, I believe, is unlit. Yeah, this is Plant 42, who of course will try to eat you or something in the game. But it's taken over this whole area, including those rooms nearby. So, and we get to the hole in the wall, which is the other end of that beehive. And there was a gap between here and there that I added shit to make it look right. Bedroom, I believe, and bedroom and bathroom number 2. Ceiling fan, nice shower curtain. I think that's towels, maybe. Bedroom 2 is the one where they have the secret meeting and you can go down by, I believe in the game you move a bookcase or something into the aqua ring. And yeah, the aesthetic changes rather drastically from one area to another. The mansion, the residence, to the aqua ring. The aesthetics are all very different. This is where that pit is, where you got to push the crates into this, cross it. Yeah, the water's here, but obviously for the majority of the aqua ring, I left the water just so it wasn't just a big pit. The whole pit with the crates, it makes no sense from an accessibility standpoint. Why would there be a hole to begin with? But it's a video game. But as you see, I had the water drained out of most of the aqua ring. And there's the reason that we got that pop up earlier. Because, um, yeah, this area is pretty big. If you look at the game, it's pretty empty. But yeah, the Minecraft does not have sharks. I believe they said there's a good reason why. But Elder Guardian seemed appropriate. It also made building this particular area a giant pain because I decided for some reason to put him in there before it was finished. Uh, aren't I genius? This was the area where you would come down, and these roots are from the plant way up above, and you would come down and kill plant 42 down here if you wanted to skip that boss battle. Sometimes he just sits there, and sometimes he does swim around. He likes to be in the bottom a lot. Yeah, see what I'm saying about litter? And because it's area with the Elder Guardian, I would have to literally go and get oh, milk in order to get rid of this one freaking block of dirt or just dig at it forever. You know, see, it will go if I do this for long enough. It's just one extra annoyance. And I don't blame the Elder Guardian. I blame the goddamn biggest litter bugs. Kill them if you find them. But anyway, this room in the game is pretty much just accessibility to get down here to this control room where you can close shutters because the giant, well, we'll call him a shark, is smashing these windows and trying to kill you because in the game, this whole area is flooded. Oh yeah, TV screen here. I kind of like it. It looks weird, but it's literally just a map of the void in the end. This is as close to the umbrella logo as I can get in what's it, banner patterns? I like it. That's all that matters, I suppose. Clutter room. Come out into the lower part of the aqua ring. I felt like leaving the water here in this part because for some reason when you're going through this area where the shark is in the end, uh, what is it, King Neptune, I believe it's called. There's like a dip down in the ground right here, and he'll be in this shallow pool of water. I, why would there be a shallow dip? I mean, given that they're sharks, maybe the water's there permanently, like it's supposed to be there. But with all the electronics and stuff, like this and the boxy smashes and all that, I don't know. Video game logic. Yep, there he goes. See, he does move around. He got a big tank to swim in. He's happy, right? Then we get the emergency exit tunnel. I believe this room didn't have much in it. It was just a exit. Back up to the main room of the aqua ring. I believe for this I used snow because once again, white concrete is too white. It's not textured, it's not clean. I've tried graphics packs and all that, and none of them look quite right. There's always some flaw that doesn't. I mean, I'm using almost every block in the book here, so there's always something that doesn't look quite right. But on to the next area. Little bit of backtrack here. This is technically the next area. It is not finished. So I don't see a real need to run through it too thoroughly. Um, and I think this is the spider room. But yeah, as you can see, I have it dug out proportion. It's all rectangles like that because this will be the floor placed there, the ceiling there, the walls there, and so forth. It's all dug out, but nothing's placed in yet. And yeah, I've carved into a couple accessibility tunnels so I can get into my storage facility quick and easy should I ever, you know, run out of rockets or whatever. See, down there is where, I think it's where you get the smashed flamethrower, because they don't want to give you a functional flamethrower in a game like this for whatever reason. And then over here is where you would get the crate onto the thing and send it over there. This is all like carved out because I figure I can use black concrete to create the illusion of kind of like a void. Being bigger than it is. Let's see, this is tunnel that goes into water after was it the girls' room there? Let me climb up. And this room I was slightly off on my measurements. I believe I had to reverse it because the ladder's supposed to be over there instead of over here. That brings you up into the cabin, which I have finished. All above ground areas are finished. And when I finish, I should say if I finish the remaining areas, I'll add another video or an update. I just felt like it was time to put this out. I've been working on this for a very long time and experiencing something of burnout, so I don't know if I'll ever actually get it done. Maybe will, maybe won't. I'm making slow progress still. Um, a cabin from the outside. Like I said, it's meant to be seen at night. I lit everything up as best as I could, tried to avoid making any areas where there was zero lighting. See, like you can even see out there, there's hidden light sources. But yeah, we get to the muddy forest path. The statue that was there. Where are you? I hate Enderman so much. Into the crow graveyard here. That you get the magnum. Chicken. Why the heck is there a chicken here? There's the dog heads. Go away. And weather vane. Yeah, this is the muddy path. Uh, Obviously, it's not a waterfall of that size in the game. Um, right up next to the exterior of the mansion. Yeah, from this part in the game, you can actually kind of see, it's not exactly like this, but you can see the mansion in the background. Interestingly enough, you can also see right through this passage because it's supposed to be arched, but I didn't go with that. Oop, yeah, metal door. I like metal. And y'all probably can, if you know Resident Evil, you can probably take a guess on what the final area to explore is. Through these doors where you need the double key, the double stone and metal objects. This is your save area once again. I'm gonna go down some more and down some more, and at a certain point it turns more cave-like. Get the wooden plank floor through the cave. It looks like it's about to collapse. Getting darker, candly. This area is very cool. I like how this turned out. The altar. If you fall down there, you gotta use a rocket to get back up in this game. This is where you would push these blocks off, raise the lid off of the uh, giant stone sarcophagus in order to give the monster its mom's skull. Go way, way up into the fountain. Now we're on the exterior of the mansion. Now that's a false window. It's actually part of the hall upstairs, but I decided not to change it. I think it looks appropriate given the mansion. Over there you can see a different courtyard. And I'm sure you've been able to glimpse areas that are nearby through the entire game. Yeah, see there's the mansion itself. Normally these doors are completely sealed in the actual Resident Evil game. There's no way in here with forklift. This is where the final boss battle of the game takes place. Is pretty much this rectangle or square here. Yeah, the helicopter that comes to save the day after, it comes to save the day, takes you out later, or well, takes you away later, I should say, and gives you a rocket launcher. In the game, you would put objects in and it would drain this fountain, but I don't want to do that. So instead, we do this and go down into the secret entrance. This hole is not in this wall normally. I poked a hole through to, once again, construction access because the labs are not entirely completed. The first floor is, or well, I don't know, second floor. Yeah, this would be the labs B1. This is completed. This is pretty much a access room with a random big machine in it. This is the emergency exit hallway. I'm not sure if I'm satisfied with the color of the walls. I feel like maybe it should be darker. And I, and also well, I could probably make it darker by instead of using these redstone lamps, by using copper bulbs and letting them corrode slightly. That would dim it up. Using lighting effects like that is important. The rest of the labs, the walls and colors of the floor and all that are up, but the decor is not in. So, like, they're pretty much empty rooms. It's more completed than the courtyard underground, but not finished. So this is I believe this is the visual data room. And because it's not completed, I'm just going to run through very quickly. Uh, X-ray room, X-ray room that's turned on, so that's why it's kind of orangey. I didn't want to make them both orange. This is the access hallway for the prison cell. Prison cell where your partner, Jill or Chris, depending on who you played as, was locked in. The Oh, I believe that's the morgue. Oh, there's one of the labs. I can't remember the name of that one. Is the surgeon's room. This is like the save. This is the final save area. It's like the break room or something. The power maze A, and yeah, the lines on the floor are where there'll be like random bits of equipment that you have to go around. So this room looks open, but it'll be very cluttered. Same thing with this. Like it'll be like you gotta run all the way around and all the way back when it's finished. And then this will be the power generator that you gotta go in because there's, self-destruct and all that. So you gotta deal with that shit. Go down to the final basement. And this is the deepest area I put. It's down at, you can see down at the bottom of the screen, we are at Y level 0, which isn't as deep as the Minecraft lets you go. But you don't want to go much deeper. Yeah, iron trapdoor, ceiling. This is the main lab. This is where Wesker betrays you. This game really does use a combination of things. It has a ladder here, elevator further down, elevator here, then stairs for that other level. If I go through this way, you can see there's a lot of accessibility. See, like that's one of the accessibility hatches for what I built there. I dug out. Oh, this all came later, but this is all an area I dug out. You can see underneath the entire thing. You can see the other side of the basement halls. Go over here, you can see. Yeah, I decided to decorate with. I had a lot of extra stone. Yeah, I believe this is the crypt I'm going over top of here. That is that's the swimming pool. That's the courtyard with all the bushes and the fountain in the middle. It's just at one point I decided to start digging, and I think it was mostly just a way to procrastinate because the level of detail doing and to get this all right, it can be tedious trying to get it all right. But yeah, you can see I completely forested in all the way around every single tree, except for maybe like this corner within the fence line here. Every single tree was planted by hand because I wanted, well, first off, you can see it's mostly built in a plains biome, but also I didn't want just generic oak forest. The oak trees in this game or birch trees are tiny. Yeah, this is my storage area. It's crammed into a wall. Well, if you sharp-eyed among you might have noticed. Yeah, I got an access hatch here when I was building up here. That goes up to the attic. You got the wool here, which goes into that mirrored room. I got an access hatch here that goes into the living room. Built a Well, I used to have farms, but that was early game. I built them way over here, and that was before I moved over here. I just decided not to rebuild them. I felt like I was exhausted enough. But yeah, that's the map. Tell me what y'all think. has taken me quite a while. Like I said, I have experienced a bit of burnout to where there's been long periods of time where if I made progress at all, it was rather slow, or I'd work on something entirely different, like digging out underneath the mansion for no particular reason except for because I could, or I would go play something else for a while because this project, it, after a while, it turns into a grind. But I wanted to share it with everybody. And if you watched, thank you. And I hope you are inspired by it.